Morning and welcome aboard. We're getting all set up here for the trading morning. Welcome to Trade Along Live with Saul. Focused on the S&P 500 E-mini. Should see a series of three charts in a separate chart window, two time frames for the S&P 500 E-mini and a 30-year bond chart. If you're new to trading, we can help you get set up and move forward. We can point you in the right direction. If you're an experienced trader looking to trade better this morning, stick around. Got a lot going on here during the trading mornings. We're here from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, with the body of the trading happening between 9:30 and 11:30. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's to be taken as direct trading or investment advice. This is an educational opportunity to really focus on trading one thing, the S&P 500 E-mini, and trading it well. We have education services where your host and mentor, Saul Shaul, who is a CME Group floor member. He's actively scalping the S&P 500 E-mini for his own trading account. He's been trading for 25 years plus. He's looking to do in his own trading 2, 3, 4, 5 trades based on a price action trading methodology. The morning starts out with setting key areas and levels from an educational point of view only. Specific prices that Saul calls levels and zones in the S&P 500 E-mini, a pivot, and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. So be prepared to write those levels down when he gives them out in audio. You can see them reposted in the chat area. We communicate via open voice, open mic, and communicate also back and forth via chat. This is a subscription service. We have guests coming in. We ask guests to transition over to paid friends and family membership. It is nominal. We just want to be able to separate out the people we should pay attention to not. The ones that are serious about their trading or not. And this is really an opportunity to focus, have discipline, receive trade along support from Saul. You can ask questions, you can interact. You can ask questions and interact in and around Saul's pre-mapped out levels and zones. We call them zones because after the opening, well, we'll say two things, right? Right now it's 9:25. In a couple minutes, Saul's going to pop in and take over. You'll hear his voice. He'll give out his levels that he is setting right before the cash open. He does that to give him an advantage and help make his levels and zones more valid for this morning's session. Remember, Saul is trading. He is doing this for himself. He is setting these levels and zones for himself. He has a price action trading methodology that he uses. And the feedback that we get from the service is one of very positive. The concept of trading along with a 25-year veteran trader is very positive. The concept of receiving key levels and areas that you can witness yourself. As you receive the levels, load them into your software. See how the market behaves and interacts, adjusts and changes in and around those levels. Those levels become, on Saul's end, an opportunity point where he believes the market's going to make change, and you could do the same, and take advantage of that change based on the entries, exits, and stops, or price action entries, exits, and stops in and around those fixed levels. That is a huge advantage, in our humble opinion, to you as an attendee and a subscriber to the service. I mean, you have to figure that out on your own. We ask you to step up and sign up to make sure that everybody's accounted for. We look for 100% participation. If we don't get it, we just exit you. It can be a surprise. You could be on a list of people that haven't responded. We've got a few people on it today, so don't get caught up in it. I'm going to send this out to everybody now. Take a moment. Sign yourself up. Don't be a piker. Hey, Bob T., how are you? Anupam, Dean, nice to see you. Dimitri, or I'm sorry, Derme. Hey, Edward, Glenn, Henry. Hey, Ingrid. Thank you. Johnny Z, KG, Lorenzo, Mira, Michael R, Philip, how are you? Prita, hey, Rand, Richard A, Roop, Sewell, hey, Zaharl, Keep pronouncing that differently every time. Apologies. Hopefully I get it right. So again, when Saul pops in, he's going to pick up the trade along here. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. If you like what we're doing here, you can send your friends in, your associates, your colleagues. TradeAlongLive.com. TradeAlongLive.com. I would also mention this is up to you. If you want help trading, let us know. If you're not happy with your trading technique, let us know. Saul takes individual traders, so it's a select group of individual traders, under his wing, and he teaches them personally and privately his methodology. He can help tune up your methodology, and he can teach you how to set his proprietary scalping levels that everybody is clamoring for. He does that in private class. We call it his mentoring and training opportunity for you. So inquire about it. If you need trading software, let us know. So how did I do? Did I do okay? I appreciate it if I did it well. You know, I do struggle from time to time. But anyway, self-regulate yourself based on signing up for the service. I just sent it out the discount links. Take a moment, register yourself, sign up. We'll welcome you to Saul's friends and family. Hey, Dean, how are you today? Johnny Z in the house. Michael R. Mira. Make sure you're all signed up. Richard. Bob T. Henry. Rita. Hey, Robert. Hey, Robert, did you check out that Restore Truth Token.com website? Called Restore Truth Token.com website.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? Let's give you our levels for this morning. And our pivot this morning is 4202. Resistance up here at the 10 area, which is kind of just got up to 9. Above that, we got 22, 32, 43, and 54. Support below at 41.95. 86, 74, 63, and 55. Pivot 02 supported 41.95, 86, 74, 63, 55. Resistance on the upside at 10, 22, 32, 43, and 54 is the market here. Reacting to a huge sell-off yesterday in regards to all the geopolitical situations that's still going to be on the minds of everybody who's trading, and uncertainty comes in here with the market, and the market does not like uncertainty. That's for sure. And unfortunately, that's what we have right now. And the market's reacting to that uncertainty the way it usually does. as we swiftly come down here to the 95 area. All right, market coming down here to the 95 area. Again, a very fluid market these days, so be extremely cautious with the amount of contracts you're trading, with your stops. Make sure they're in place. The market has been very, very swift here, as we've been talking about all the time. There are the levels in the chat box area for you. And we'll see, how and where these areas. If you followed our levels yesterday, we had additional levels to the downside. And if you were trading with us, I think you did well. If you've followed the levels, the VIX is up to a 36 handle. Very, very high as far as the VIX is concerned. Very volatile. Market is very, very nervous. Can we repeat the levels in the chat one more time? Those are levels again. If you look at the chat box area, you'll find the levels there for you. Again, Mark, working this 95 area here is definitely giving you chances to scratch if you don't like the way it's trading. Gold and oil, yeah, everything's taken off this morning, and that's why there's pressure here on the market. Bond market, retrading the bond market had it's acting very strange. That's all I can say. It's definitely in nervous mode. That's for sure. All right. See what it wants. Again, you had plenty of opportunity to scratch the trade. If you didn't like the price action, again, it's coming back up here, giving you another chance to scratch some of it. If you're trading multiple contracts, if you're sticking with it, that's great. Keep your stop in there. We're definitely about 5 or 6 points right now with our stop. So definitely in that range. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We don't mind questions here. Market is very, very, anything sets it off. There's not much that this market is not going to get set off on. The volatility is definitely in the market. The United States has decided to ban importation of Russian oil. So obviously the oil market, again, going to go a little bit crazy on that. So we'll see. I mean, what... All right, nice rotation here against our 95 area there. Even if you lighten the load a little bit, still got a nice rotation. What Putin has created is a lot of turmoil everywhere and creating a lot of risk in the market. And obviously, the market is trading against that risk. Nice pop back all the way up here very quickly. Again, the market did, if you're taking a 10, I mean, hopefully you're trying to get out at 10. Remember, it got up to 9 just before we started. So we are really, really flipping around here a little bit. So be very, very careful and keep your stops in place no matter what you're doing. And the market is just very swift. As you can see, we're at even 95 and we're up here at 15 in less than a minute. Right, so you can see how quick this market is. And look, if the risk is too much for you, just settle, wait. Things will settle down. As you can see here, we are all over the place, absolutely all over the place. This is trading like a Fed morning. This is the beginning of the day. It should not be trading this way, but the volatility is there. It is just ripping around all over the place here. For the faint of heart, so if it's a little bit too much for you, just wait a little bit. Things will settle down. Even as the day went on yesterday, the trade was there, and it kind of was a good. It wasn't a crazy trade. It was going down, obviously, but we had nice bounces against our levels. And if you kept your stops in place, you should have been okay. I mean, there wasn't too many areas there where our levels did not or get blown out. So hopefully, if like I told you, even though we're not here in the afternoon, the thing that you could use is the levels. If you don't have to trade, the price action activity that occurs and the price action trades that we look for normally on these kind of markets, especially I should say in the afternoon, kind of they don't hold the same weight as they do in the morning. So the afternoon trade, we're looking more at levels, and if you traded our levels yesterday afternoon, I think you did phenomenally well if you were trading. But you can see right now, this is a little bit nuts right now. And this is for a morning, beginning of the day trade. So very patient, very important to be patient, wait. The 95 level worked, but you can see the volatility there. Once it held and it couldn't get through, that was a good sign that the market was going to maybe give us an opportunity there to make some money. Yeah, I already just mentioned that the United States is not going to be buying any more oil from Russia. That is already that was already in the market. At least I read it an hour ago. So that's already been piped in there. And I think adding to you see when we broke there in the S&Ps, I think that's when the news came out about Biden's decision with the oil, Russian oil. The market here, again, we already traded the 95 area there, so I would not be looking at that area anymore. I'm probably be looking at the 86 here. Market is very, very swift, very, very. It's moving. I want to say it's illiquid, but it's actually, I don't know. It's a very close call when it trades like this. I don't know how you look at it, but if just to show, this is a consequence of the this trade is a consequence of electronic trading because obviously you have algorithms and you have all kinds of different ways that these markets are trading off of that. We cannot trade this fast, right? I mean, just think about how fast it's moving here. Look at this. It's insane, absolutely insane. And, individuals can't trade this fast. I mean, you're definitely talking about, computerized, whatever, algos, whatever you want to call them. And this is why if you're nervous about trading right now, I don't blame you. Just be patient and wait for the market to settle down a little bit. That's all you can do. All right, as we come testing this 86 area, but again, it's like whipping around all over the place. So, it's not for the faint of heart, like I keep saying. And really, it's a tough trade, no matter how you slice this. And it's not even like you can get in and back it up. So just trade small. Don't get yourself in trouble. Get out and wait for the next opportunity. This is just a very fluid, irrational market right now. Right? That's all it is. It's a very irrational market. I mean, I wish I could tell you this is normal. So just to prove my point about how crazy this market is, as we are drifting back up here again, if you don't have if you have a finger stop, you may be trading out of this. Again, got down to 80. I know I said 5 or 6 point stops, but it's right on the border. Okay, so you have to have your area where you're going to exit and kind of keep it in place, even though it's moving really quick. It's like the nickel. The nickel market has gone up 250% over the past 2 days. It hit record highs above 100,000 a ton. Largest price move ever seen in the London Metal Exchange. The frenzied move came as investors and industrial users who had sold the metal, basically who are short, scramble to buy the contracts back while brokers rush to collect margin payments. Supposedly some Chinese billionaires lost billions of his, but how does something go up 250% overnight? I mean, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Okay. And, but this is why everybody's getting short. You know, the bids are in there. There's not that many bids and offers, as you can see. There's 20 lots up and down the ladder. But again, that's why I think our methodology here is to scalp. You're obviously getting some quick moves here on these scalps and these markets that we're trading. We try to minimize the risk as much as possible. And by that, what I mean is scalping, I think, minimizes risk because we're not holding positions on. And, you are also waiting for opportunity. And the problem with this market is that you're going to get a lot of slippage because of volatility. And like I said, we try to adjust the slippage by increasing our stops. And right now we're at 5 or 6 points, like I said earlier. And it probably would be a little bit more, but you are getting a good bang for your money, because if you did buy the 86 area there, look where we're at. We're at 42.10, even though it did get down to 80 and then pop right back up. So it's one of those things where if you can handle the risk and you can handle the volatility, you're going to get paid off. It's really that simple. There's not much more I can say about this, especially the way these markets are moving. But then again, it is crazy and it's nuts. So pick your spots, be patient, and wait. That's all I can say. There's no secret to trading these crazy markets. You have to be able to handle the drawdowns. And if you can't, it's all right. Be patient and wait for the opportunity. There will be another one. And the markets will also slow down a little. I mean, here's a crazy bar, right? Down to 80 and up to 15. I mean, who has a 35-point bar in 5 minutes? It's crazy. Fears of economic downturn sent equities into a tailspin on Monday, triggering a steep sell-off on Wall Street as commodities like oil, wheat, nickel powered higher. The S&P 500 plunged 3% on worst day since October of 2020, while the Dow shed 800 points to join the S&Ps in the correction territory for the first time in 2 years. The NASDAQ has ended the session in bear market territory, causing a dark shadow on March after all 3 indices fell in each of the previous 2 months. Not every recession has been caused by oil spikes, but every oil spike has caused a recession. Oh, very poetic. That's some analysts said. Not every recession has been caused by oil spikes, but every oil spike has caused a recession. This is likely to be drawn out fair and will have a sustained impact on commodity prices. Perhaps the scary part is that in 1990, during the Gulf War, Fed funds rate was at 8% and eventually embarked on an easing cycle. Today, the Fed funds rate beginning of a hiking cycle, which seems more and more likely, like a recession is unavoidable. Unavoidable. So there you have it. All right, again, so now let's see. Next low on the upside we have is up around the 22 area. I'm just checking to see if there's any numbers that are coming out today. There is wholesale inventories again. Fundamentals right now being swallowed up by the geopolitical situation. So not really too much to get excited about. Who wrote that? Let's see. He's a head strategist at some international fund. It's a big problem with the Fed already stuck between a rock and a hard place with regards to monetary policy. Soaring commodity prices, red hot inflation means that the central bank will need to accelerate its tightening. But doing so risks tipping the economy into a recession. On the other hand, taking more of an accommodative stance and allowing inflation to rip higher would likely result in the same outcome. basically we are screwed around here. Stock futures slowed their descent overnight, hugging the flat line in pre-market trade as the Kremlin said it would halt military operations in a moment if Kiev met a list of conditions. Among them was ceasing military action, changing its constitution to enshrine neutrality, possibility of eliminating NATO and the EU membership, recognizing separatist republics, those two republics that whatever, acknowledging Crimea as a Russian territory. It's the most specific statement to date from Moscow on the terms it wants to impose on Ukraine, though likely rejected by the government in Kiev, could lead to renewed market turmoil. Really, like that are going to really, like they're really going to actually agree at all of that. All right, that's why they're at war. Anyway, boy. Well, we'll see what happens. All we can do is trade the volatility. Again, you have to understand that there is volatility there, so it's kind of goofy. If you welcome some new folks that are here, we are trading mini S&Ps, commodities, and it's a commodity, it's future. It's an index on the stocks equities. And if you look at our chat, we're going to print up the levels that we're going to use as a guide to the day. Again, we are scalping the market off of those levels, as well as trying to find price action opportunities in the market, even though the market is very fluid. And we have to be very patient and wait for the opportunities to get to show up and present themselves instead of us trying to create trades, even though the market is really moving around. It's not normal to have a 35.5-minute bar. Let's put it that way. Very not normal. Okay. Again, if you look at the chat, you'll see the levels that we have in there. You can bring them up again, Don, please. There they are. All right, so we are hanging around our pivot area here, kind of both sides of upper resistance there at 15. They drifted quickly down to 80, and then we're just kind of mired in this little range here, big range, but mired in this range. We our top level got triggered there at 10. I had a nice rotation off of that. Again, it was a quick rotation. It had to be very quick, and you had to understand that there is going to be some definitely a drawdown on some of these areas, but where you have to understand that this is the nature of the trade right now. So you have to keep your stops at an adequate number. We're definitely at 6 points at least, if not a little bit more. But you are getting the same. You are getting the rotations on the profit side. So it's not like you're just stopping out for 6 and taking 2 points profit. That's not what's going on here. You're looking for the same or more on the profit side, and you are getting them. This market is extremely fluid, and looks like the end of the world is coming, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't. It's not. You're happy again. I mean, it's just very, very tough little trade there. But again, we are scalping, so we're not taking any positions. We're not getting ourselves caught in anything. You are just trying to work in and out of opportunities. That's what we're trying to do here. Again, any levels that we give out, any trading methodologies I'm talking about here is a taught experience. We do it in our education course that anybody could take. It's not a secret. Trading is not a secret. It's just a matter of having some discipline and understanding each individual's limits, right? Because you don't get yourself in too much trouble. You always want to come back tomorrow. That's the key. It's the key to trading. All right. The key to trading is to be able to come back tomorrow. All right. If anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind questions, especially when things are a little range bound here. That you can see they've calmed down just a little bit, right? I mean, a little, very little. I mean, there's only 20 lots up and down the ladder ticket, and we've traded like 600,000 already. That's a lot for 20 lots up and down the ladder ticket. That's a lot of movement. All right. So there's just a small number coming out here at 9 o'clock, not a really big number. Okay. All right, again, just kind of drifting in a little bit of a range here, a big range, not a little bit of a small range. Support level on the downside we have. The next level is looking down at the 74 area, so really nothing until 74. You can see the levels there for you and printed there for you in the chat. All right, market continues to downtick, looking at the 74 as our next support area. All right, you can see here, market has settled down just a little bit. All right there, Philip, thanks. You have a great day. All right, we're just kind of hanging around the lower end of this range, intraday range. And now we'll see what it wants to go next. Next support level we have is down at 74. I can't even tell you. I mean, we're looking really at 22 areas, the next resistance area. Otherwise, I know it's a 50-point spread here, but it is what it is. You have to be patient and wait for the opportunities to present themselves to you. There's no, just because the markets are trading doesn't mean that you gotta jump in there. All right, so again, next support level we have is down at 74. All right, very, very fluid market here. Continues to be soft. I mean, this is market is not liking what is going on, and it's trading that way. A little support down here to 74 area. Coming down here to 74. And make sure you keep your stops in place no matter what. Again, like I said earlier, the market is giving you a chance here to scratch some if you have multiple contracts on, maybe take a little bit of a profit depending on how you get in, where you got in, how you're trading. It's all a matter of knowing what's going on in the market and then trading it accordingly. And whatever you decide, just make sure you keep your stop in place, that's for sure. Very, very swift little market here. And make sure you keep your stops in place. That way it keeps you in the game and you're always looking for the next opportunity. Market here and under tons of pressure here from this geopolitical situation going on. All right, next level on the downside we have is down at the 63. And let me give you some more levels here on the downside. We got 55, then 44, 34, and then 25. Again, market is very, very nervous and trading that way. Just trading that way, no matter how you slice it, it's just a nervous little market. And you don't want to get caught in anything. That's why you keep your stops in place. All right, coming down here, we have support down at 63. Very, very whippy. Coming down here to the 63 area. well, there's a lot of momentum here right now, right there, Don? Trying to work the 63 area here a little bit. All right, just kind of hanging around 63. See what it wants to do. Again, if you don't like the price action, you do have the ability to get out for a smaller profit, to get out for a scratch. We talked about it with all the levels that we've been trading today. They're not giving us the same amount of action we had yesterday. You have to we're actually working these levels today a little bit, but at least it's giving us those choices, right? Very, very swift flow market here, no matter how you slice this. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Again, the volatility is too great. Just wait. Things will settle down. Things will slow down here a little bit. Make this a little bit not so crazy. Again, working at 63 again. You're given choices here. You got 3 points here right now, and if you don't like the price action, you should get out. If not, just wait, or get out of some contract. Again, if you're trading multiple contracts, you have choices. If you're just trading one, then you just kind of trade it according to what makes you feel comfortable. I know it's a little nuts, a little crazy, and again, if the market is too moving around too fast or there's too much risk, just be patient. Wait. There's going to be trade tomorrow. Keep saying that. Definitely in a, what's going on geopolitically is causing a lot of, angst in the market, and that's what we're getting right now. All right, there's our nice rotation here against our 63. Got down to 61 area and then bounced up. So a little bit of heat there, but it just didn't bounce off right away. And that was the issue there. But nice rotation here, make up for the 74 area there. Again, you gotta just keep your stops in place and always look for the next opportunity. Don't get upset because you had to get stopped out and then the next opportunity is upon you. The thing is that you have to always be ready to find the next trade when it sets itself up for you. So we have, if you look at our chat there, you'll see the levels, the additional levels that we put in on the downside. Unfortunately, unfortunately only because everybody likes things to be a little bit more serene and calm, but it's not. You, yeah, you have it in the right. Okay, good. All right. All right, so we came down here, ran through 74, ran through 63, but we didn't run through the 63. We had a nice rotation there. You did give to give you a chance to scratch some at 74 if you did. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you just held on, then that's you took your loss, and it came down here to 63, and then made a nice rotation off of that level, and and then now we're trying to see where we want to go from here. Resistance right now would be up and around the 95 area. So you have our levels there. We have 63, then 55, 44, 34, and then 25. You got those in the chat. And again, nice rotation here off of that 63. Took a little bit of work there. I had to work that one a little bit. That one was not as, they've been bouncing a lot quicker for us, but not today. But that's okay. We're not really getting killed on anything. Just have to work it, that's all. Nothing wrong with having to work once in a while. Yesterday was a lot easier, obviously, because the markets are not, it kind of bounced, the levels worked perfectly. All right, nice little trade there against, this is a way, again, if you're trading multiple contracts, how you can trade more than, take more than your 6-7 points, whatever your stop is. We are getting those opportunities. That's all I'm going to say, right? I said next level of resistance we have is up at the 95 area. All right, nice rotation here. Again, you hit your stops there. Everybody's getting a little panicky on the downside, and now they're running to the exits altogether. Again, resistance up around the 95 area. Whoa, what was that? Wow, that was crazy, right? I don't know what happened there, but that was nuts. Well, I mean, okay, so we are trying to take, that was a little bit nutty there, whatever happened there. We are trying to take the price action area of resistance that I have. I think what you're talking about is our old support becomes resistance. I understand, but the price action is dictating that the 95 area would be a little safer area, quote unquote safer. Okay. Um, doesn't mean that the 86 is not going to work, and doesn't mean that if you have a reason to trade the 86, it's not a level that you should consider. I'm taking a little different. Be a little careful here. I don't know what's going on, but something is up, because that was not normal little rotation there. Something is going on here. All right, so that's the reason that we said the 95 would be a little better resistance area than the 86, because of the price action. And what the mark now, it doesn't mean, like I said earlier, I know what you're saying, that the 86 should be support resistance because it was support, but really when we got down to 86, it really wasn't that much of a support level. So I'm looking at what the price action was telling me, and then making a determination where I think good resistance would be. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I will say that the bond market all of a sudden popped. We had the little hiccup there. That was a little weird, that hiccup. If you're looking at the ladder ticket, we did get up here to 95. We have resistance right up here. Again, be a little bit careful right now, because something is up. This is where we have a little bit of resistance if you're looking for a little bit of a short. But again, keep your stop in place. Nice rotation there against the 95 resistance area that we talked about. Giving us 5 points here. All right, that was a nice little trade there. Again, the price action trades don't have to keep for 6 or 7 points. I mean, if you're getting 5 points out of these, you should be. And you're also probably putting a 5-point stop on these as well, because these things can run through, as you could see. But a nice little trade there against the 95 area if you got short there. And if you want to stay short, you definitely could do that. That was definitely a good resistance area there for us. Have a trailing stop with anything that you're going to do up here if you're trying to stay short. All right, nice rotation there against the 95 area that we talked about being short. Again, you have to find the price. These are the price action opportunities the market gave us that we're looking to get short. And we got right up to 5.5 up there and came off. Obviously, you'd have to have your order in place for it to take advantage of that little trade. Because it just flipped up there for a second and came back off. If you look at the chat, you'll see the levels again that we're going to use as a guide to the day. And there they are for you. We've gone through, we've gone through to 63, and then now we're down at the next support level. I was really down at 55. And I told you when we were trading, when I gave you those levels, that 95 would be our resistance. We were a long way away. As you can see here in the market, there's no long way away from anything here. have to be patient and wait for the opportunity to present itself, and then to try to take advantage of it. All right, nice rotation there against the level upper resistance there at 95. And again, have a trailing stop. I would cover some right here if you, unless you're thinking that the market would go back down, but and then see what it wants to do from there. Very, very nervous little market here, that's for sure. Whatever created that hiccup right there up to 95 was a good opportunity for us to get short. If you were looking to get short, bond market kind of helped that situation. I know something was up. Somebody said something at that moment in time because the market is just giving it all up now. All right, coming all the way back down here. Very fluid little market, like I said. You got to be very patient here and wait for the opportunities. Well, man, anything to the downside these days seems to be retested, so wouldn't put that beyond the realm of possibilities. That's for sure. But again, I'm not trading that way to go look for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just scalping. So if it gets there, it gets there. If it doesn't, it's okay. I'm not like gonna be worried about whether it gets there or not. I would say that that's usually the case, especially lately. That's been happening. But again, if you're a position trader and that's what you believe, you got to take some lot of swings here to be able to try to stay short this thing to be able to get you to the overnight low there. So, but uh, even though I might think that it's going to get there, I'm not going to be trading that way or keep a position to wait till it gets there. All right. We are definitely fluid here. If we talked about getting short against the 95 there, if you're trying to stay short, I don't know. Yeah, 10-point stop, moving, trailing stop. It's moving that way, right? I mean, unfortunately, at some point, you're going to have to get out of it, but it was a nice trade if you did get in. Now it's getting choppy down here. Really don't have any good support until we get down to the 55 area. And really, the way this is moving, this might be in 2 minutes. Who knows? Okay, market continues to down. They're looking at the 55 area as next support level. Anything's possible there, Don. Look at the bond market, just absolutely out of control. They're out of control there. It was up 2 points yesterday, down 3 points today. I mean, just they don't know what is going on. All right, coming all the way down here to those lows we made earlier. We're looking at the 55 areas, the next support level. Again, if the market is a little bit too swift for you, moving too fast, not your kind of speed, then just don't worry about it. Things will slow down at some point. I mean, look at this. We had the break from 95 down here to 55 in about 10 minutes. I mean, that's crazy. Again, coming down here to the 55 area. Remember, it's an area. There's nothing here. It's not going to be perfect. How you get in around that area is totally up to you. How do you scale in? You scale in the top end, bottom end, whatever you're scaling in on. It got down here to 6.5 and then popped back up here really quick. Are you doing 2 point stop, 2 point? Well, I would definitely do at least 2 point. Again, it's just fluid 2 point. What do you call it? Scales. If it's too much for you, keep one lots. Find a good entry point that you feel comfortable doing. Again, patience is important. You don't have to trade this if it's a little bit too fast for you. We're going to get plenty of opportunities. Absolutely amazing. Just amazing. It amazes me how quickly these things move. And again, it's the fallout from trading, online, and how they deal with the volatility. All right, we got down to 65 and change area, 56 and change area, and come right back up. So be a little bit careful there if you're going to be trading the 55 area. Basically, like I said, we're not going to be perfect. So it's an area. Is it a 2 point, 3 point area? I don't know. It's just right now the 55. If we go back down there and retest, is a lot more riskier than it was just 2 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on here, but something's going on. All right, again, right now we got the 55 area and the downside there a little bit tenuous because of the price action prior to that. Got down to 6.5 there. Again, how you enter your trades around an area is, if we got in on the top end there, then the 55 here becomes a lot more riskier than it was just a little bit ago. So if you're going to trade it, just be cautious there. Well, there's the really incredible moves as you're getting here. So that's why we have to pick our spots. You'd be guessing here if you're trying to, well, I mean, we did have the buy area down on the downside then, and we did have the sell area on the top side. All right, nice pop off of the 56. Well, we got down to 56.5. We had 55. So definitely right now, if we go retest that 55 there, it's very not a good level anymore. I mean, it's already got triggered. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get down to 55, but we got down to 6.5 there and popped back up. So I would be very careful here if you're going to keep that 55 in place. All right, right now, a little resistance probably would be around the 85, 86 area. We'll say that if we get above 42 even, probably rotate higher. Why is the probability of bouncing to and from a level higher than the probability of ticking down or up to a level? There isn't. We're just trying to find the technical areas that will give us those opportunities to bounce. It doesn't mean that they're not going to. I mean, I don't know what the probability would have been to tell you that we're going to sell the 95 and then we're going to make new lows. Okay, that I don't know what the probability. I just know that there's a better probability that there was some resistance up at that 95 area than the probability of it coming to make new lows. So I can't answer that question that way, but I can tell you that I can find those areas where I think the good probability is to buy it or sell it, but versus the probability of going to make a new high or low. Basically, I'm looking at the technical analysis to give us those areas that I think the market will um, bounce off of versus the probability that's going to reach or hit a target. Nice rotation there against the 50. Got down to 6.5. We have 55. And then bouncing back up here, a little resistance around the 85 to 86 area. Again, keep your stops in place. Market here is very fluid. It's trading that way. It's been trading that way for a bit. Got to keep your stops in place here. Whatever opportunities or chances we get based on the technical analysis that we do are always backed up by stops, because we're not going to be right all the time, because just the market conditions and the market fluctuations and the dynamics at this moment in time is creating a lot of volatility. And so we might think that levels might be working, but we have to adjust to it accordingly. All right, seems like we've gotten a little bit of a range here. All right, as you can see here, market just kind of flushed right through there. Again, not a surprise with this volatility. All of a sudden, we talked about it gets some dynamics all of a sudden into the market, creates some craziness that just creates a big move one way or the other. All we can do is protect ourselves by keeping our stops in place. All right, we are. Who would have thunk it that we're going to be pushing up here to the 4,200 level like 5 minutes ago? Again, if we get up above 42, hold, it gets a little bit bullish, believe it or not, in this market. All right, crazy little trade continues here. Got up to the break-even level there at the settlement price, and then came off of it as fast as I can say that. Came off of it 10 points. So those of you who traded the settlement price did okay on that little trade. All right. Well, as you can see, they got right up to that 4,200 area. We had to close above 4,200 for us to be able to get a little bit bullish, and they did not do that for us. So they are just continuing to have a little bit of pressure here on this market. The pivot comes from the kind of like it's a pit pivot that we used when we were trading on the floor versus like the pivots that you get when you have some sort of standardized equation that everybody likes to use, high and low divided by whatever 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever month you're looking at. So it's a little bit different than what you would normally get. All right, as you can see here, the volatility is still great, and still markets whipping around like crazy. You have to be very, very careful here. Keep your stops in place. The drawdowns are going to be there. They're going to be extreme sometimes. Try to stay out of those drawdowns and make sure you keep your stops in place. We have to get above the 42 and hold above 42 even area there for us to get a little bit bullish on this market. You can see over the last 4 or 5 days how we've definitely gone crazy down. And with what's going on in the geopolitical situation, not surprising. As crazy as it may seem, the market is reacting to uncertainty, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now. All right, we have come back down here. Now we're straddling our blue band a little bit, both ends, so kind of very, very neutral right now. A little area right now where it could really, I mean, they tried to push it above the 4200 area. They couldn't hold it. They touched it and came off and then flushed it right back down. And now they're kind of staying in the middle of this range from 42 down to 75. So this is definitely a little area right now where go either way right now. We could go retest the lows, or we can go and push up here to at 42 and get above it. Really an area right now that either way, market could definitely go either way around this area. So definitely don't have any good feel for it. All right, like I said, we can go either way from here. We can go retest the lows, and or we can go and get up to that 42. Definitely Um, Market here is kind of just, actually, it's kind of just, we got this big range, 42 to 50, and might stay in this range here a little bit, maybe consolidate here a little bit. I don't know. Definitely maybe taking a break. I don't know. We could continue to downtick. It's one of those things that you have to just be patient and wait. You got the levels that we talked about. It's hard to trade this big range that it's going to play itself out. You have to find areas where you're going to exit any shorts, and then if you wanted to get short someplace, you have to know where your exit strategy is. And then if you want to get long someplace in this range here, you got to know why you're getting long and then where your exit strategy is as well. So as long as you can find those areas that you believe are good entry points and have your exit strategy in place, then you can trade this range. Right now, to me, this is very risky as far as not knowing what it's going to do, where it's going to go. We had a little idea up there at 42. If we got above it, never traded above it, never stayed above it, and nice rotation off of it. And then now we're just kind of bouncing here. Doesn't know what it wants to do, so we'll see what happens. But you can see the volatility is lightened up there just a little bit. I mean, you're going to get like crazy moves every now and then because that's just what's going to happen with this light volume at each price. You know, there's no 100 lots up and down that ladder ticket anywhere. Once in a while, they'll have one up there. The lack of any large, decent size bids or offers is creating volatility. And again, nobody wants to really, you don't have to put 100. If you're trying to buy 100, you don't have to buy. You can just scale in, 15 points and buy a 100 lot that way instead of just one price. But I mean, some people do like to buy one price, so. Right, again, like I said earlier, it's kind of doing its own thing here. Kind of could go either way. I really don't have any opinion one way or the other. Just be careful around the 55 area there because, like I said earlier, it got down to 6.5, and probably that was part of our 55. So the levels that we gave down below were 44, 34, and then 25. There they are in the chat for you. All right, so again, this is like in this area right here, you're going to have to find reasons why you want to get in and make sure you back up those trades with stops. If you're looking at price action opportunities, again, the dynamics for price action opportunities in the afternoon are definitely less. The dynamics are different than they are usually. All right, so you have the levels underneath. Again, be careful with the 55 upside. Right now, we get above the 90 area, it's going to retest the 4,200. And then if we have to close above the 4,200 for us to, on a 5-minute, for us to continue to uptick to the upside and look at those upper levels of resistance. The 10 already got triggered, so that's might work this time around, actually, if you are maybe. I would, if you're a little bit more risk averse, you're looking at the 22 area instead on the upside. All right, we'll get back here in a bit.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. Hey, Ingrid, we should chat on the phone a little bit. I want to make sure that, and right now you're signed up for this service, which is the Trade Along Live service. And if you want to talk about coaching and mentoring and that type of thing, we can have a separate conversation. Paul does take a select group of traders under his wing. He teaches them how to trade. He has a price action trading methodology, and it all starts with setting his proprietary scalping levels and zones. So that is a mentoring and training experience. It's done in a private Zoom classroom, and then you come in here as an access point Sol during the live market as a proving ground and an access to him while you're applying your newfound trading skills. So let me know the best number we can reach out to you to. Preferably a cell phone and a good time. Hey, Henry, how you making out? Lorenzo, Mira, Pamela. Hey, Patrick, Preta, Richard A. Give me some feedback based on what we're doing here, and I'll send out to you an opportunity to sign up for our discounted offering. Yeah, that's right. I had posted the link for the discounts, and I'll send it out to everybody now. Just says subscribe now, and it gives an opportunity to review the links and join us on a daily basis. That's for the Trade Along Live session, which we're going through now from an educational point of view only. And if you want to step into an opportunity to be part of Sol's mentoring and his training, he does take a select group of individuals that are looking to really buckle down, learn price action trading, learn the entries, exits, and stops, learn how to set his proprietary scalping levels, and then he works with you. What's nice about that is that he gives you a year of access where you're able to work with him, get better at what you're doing, apply it, get tweaked and adjusted. It's a great experience and opportunity for individuals. So Ingrid, let us know if that interests you. Hey, that's right. We're here trading days between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon. The afternoon session is for those that are part of Sol's mentoring and his training. He does that in a private Zoom classroom. He teaches traders newer experience, new ones how to get set off on the right foot and start to develop some real trading skill. Experienced traders that are just not getting it done and want somebody to help them, manage them, tweak them, adjust them, help give them discipline. And that's a one-on-one-ish experience with Sol in a private Zoom classroom. It's called his mentoring and training. First level of service here is to be able to be part of our friends and family, which is the entrance into this Trade Along Live session, tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. I'm going to post the opportunity to sign up in the chat area. If you have friends or individuals that you think might benefit from this service, just send them to tradealonglive.com. They'll register right for this Zoom webinar. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's taken as direct trading or investment advice. And we look forward to seeing you on a daily basis.